What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another day in Car Mechanic Simulator with me, the Virtual Mechanic, and today's a beautiful project, our competition entry, the Bolt Mosquito Mark 6. As you can see, just a tiny little bit of customization on this one. We will go through it all a little bit later on. Not going to get too stuck into it. Don't forget to come and join us on Discord if you're watching this. Today is the last day to enter the Discord competition. Build your very own Bolt Mosquito Mark 6. Make it look as awesome as you can. Get it in there and see if you can become the champion this time. Again, no prizes, just some bragging rights up for grabs. But there will be a new one starting again on Friday. So even if you haven't had time to take part in this one, you can still take part. Go and vote for whichever car in there is your favorite. There are some good-looking ones. None quite as wild as mine at the moment, but there is still time. So get in there. Link in the description below. Go and vote for your favorite. Enter a car if you like. Keep an eye out for the next one. But let's get into our beautiful Bolt Mosquito Mark 6. You can see this is the Virtual Mechanic Edition, and it's in very good condition. 74% is the lowest part on there, and that's the interior. So that's an easy fix because you can't repair the interior anyway. So we need to swap it all out for some brand new stuff. Liking that. Did I get a good deal? I did indeed. 55,770 is what I paid for this one, and I could sell it for 16,608. Before we even begin. Always happy with that. That's profit, by the way. Could sell it for 72,378. The engine in this one, we have pit the V8 Ford small block 289F. The F stands for front mounted. The M equivalent is the mid mounted. Obviously, we're going for the front mounted one on this one. 680 factory horsepower, so it's a little bit higher powered than what comes on the Ford GT40. And if we just open up in there, it's a beast of a block in there as well. Looking absolutely insane. Very good condition, as most of this car really is. So we should have a relatively easy build on our hands today. Doesn't mean to say it's definitely going to be that way. But let's get this beast over to the car wash. Let's get it cleaned up. Let's get this absolute beast cleaned. A little bit jumpy in there. On you go to the car wash. We can already see what colour it is. It isn't too bad. We got it in very nice condition. But now it's all cleaned up and are ready to go. Let's get the interior done as well. Get this beast back on the lifter. Get that small block engine ripped out of there and start stripping everything down. I actually love how wild that looks. It looks so insane. But let's get underneath. We need to check for that oil pan. It is there. I did think it might be very clean and tidy, this build. So let's get in underneath. Get all of that drained out. Was it looked after? It was indeed. Very, very clean and nice looking oil in there. Pleased with that. Let's get you put away and see what we've got going on under here then. Obviously, we have got the exhaust going into them beautiful side pipes in there. Looking good on here. The other thing I'm going to point out very quickly is if you use this small block engine, we're just going to take out the starter first instead of the drive shaft, because it will let me take the gearbox out without taking the drive shaft out. I've only ever seen that happen one other time, and it was a bug to do with the vehicle. I think this might be a bug to do with this specific engine, because I don't think this normally happens. But anyway, we're going to get the drive shaft out of here. Off you come there, and off you come there. No rusty bolts. I am liking this. Let's get the gearbox out as well. Out you come, and we will grab the... Well, in fact, we'll just grab all of the exhaust while we're here, just to make it a bit simpler. Obviously, the side pipes are bonus parts, we can't grab them right now. Let's get it back on the ground, though, and get that engine ripped out of there. Now we have drained the liquids out of the oil pan. Over we go. Oh, bit jumpy there. Let's get that hood opened up and pull the engine out. We did get everything. That is just what I like. Let's see what we got going on inside the engine bay, because we have got some liquids to drain anyway. Liquids to drain from here, 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 and here. Nice and simple. So we've got the wishy-washy, the coolant reservoir, the power steering reservoir, and a brake servo up there. Then we have a radiator with the fan housing kit in there. We have two medium intercoolers and a large intercooler. Then we got our little fuse box and our air filter just over here with the battery and the ABS pump and module just sat there looking pretty good. I'm pretty sure that's everything. Obviously, fuel tank and fuel pump down the back. All we need to do for the moment, though, is get these liquids drained out. And to do that, you right-click, additional tools, a drain tool, click and hold on the container and it will drain everything out. We're going to get the rest of this car all stripped out, the underside ready to go, the rest of this engine bay, get everything repaired, replaced and upgraded, and then we're going to start working on this bodywork, getting it up to 100% before we head over to the paint shop to check out what we're going to do with this beautiful car today. That's everything on the Bolt Mosquito repaired, replaced or upgraded, ready to go back on. But now we need to sort all of this bodywork out And I think we should start with just taking off all of these bonus parts. So yeah, very simple. Let's just go back to normal. Interior and additional parts, and then disassemble additional parts. And then we want to get all of these bonus parts off of here. The 2 latches, that hood scoop on there. Down here, we got a little e-brake, which is just strutting up that suspension, that bonus part exhaust there, making sure it's connected. And then we got the big old spoiler, which I did manage to get. And that wheelie bar. Then we need to get this little part off here again. And that exhaust out of there. And then there's one more piece in here. In we go. We need to just take off that strut bar. There we go. That's all of the bonus parts off. Now let's start stripping the rest of this off. Off of that front bumper and headlights and stuff. Off with the fenders. Out you come, out you come. Off with that hood, although it's opened up. We need the windshield, we need the doors, we need the rear quarter panel window, and then we need that rear bumper. Can I get the trunk and all the tail lights? No, that will come separately, fair enough. Out with the tail lights, out with the tail lights. Grab that rear window, that's not a part, that's just permanently affixed there. Out we come, and that should be everything for the exterior. Pretty wild looking. Let's get in and grab all this interior out. This is all going to be replaced exactly as it is, just with brand new, shiny, clean stuff that we don't have to worry about. Now, is that everything on there? That's not the screen I want. That is 1%, and nothing showing up on there. We like that. Let's get this all sorted then on with the frame. Now, it was at 74%, 75% even, sorry. And obviously, I bought the car for a little over 55,000. I'm going to say 1,000. 1350, not even close. Now, there are no alternative body parts for this. It is only the main body shop. What you get is what you get. Pretty awesome looking, though. Obviously, ours has got bonus parts on it, so we need to get all of that sorted. Replace what we have to replace. Repair what we can repair. Get this beast all back together. Then head over to the paint shop. Let's get this beautiful beast all back together then. Let's just get started. There are no alternative parts, so it just goes back as it was. On with that hood and front bumper. Then we've got the beautiful headlights. In you go there. Windshield, fenders, door. On you go, on you go, on you go. Then we got the windows. Inside, in we go. Mirrors on there. Then we've got that rear window, the rear bumper. I'm not going to put all the bonus parts back on now. I'm just going to say that now. Because a lot of them need to be painted separately to the body anyway. So we're going to get the body all back together. Get it into the paint shop. Get the colours on. Then get the alternative, the bonus parts added on after. Hopefully it'll look awesome. Let's just get it all back together and get to that stage. On with the trunk and tail lights. In you go. Bay window, body window, not bay window. On with the door. On with the window. And then on with that mirror and fender. And that should be everything for the bodywork. We do have a lovely little license plate. My VM plates with Fauxmaro written on it because, you know, Camaro. Yep, we got it. Never mind. Let's just crack on. Let's get the interior in. Rear benches. We did keep it with all the Mosquito Mark 6 stuff. It does look pretty cool on there. And that Bolt Mosquito Mark 5 steering wheel. But it does look very good. Now, that should be everything. Let's just double check for the bodywork. Obviously, not including our bonus parts. Don't want to be there. 100%, 100%, 100%. Fantastic. You've already seen the livery, but let's get it into the paint shop. Get it on. Start getting some of them bonus parts coloured and get this beast all back together. Well, here she is then, all painted, looking fantastic. Now, this whole cover is a livery entirely. All the blacks are part of the livery. The stripes are part of the livery. The green on the mirror, the handle, and the fin is all a part of the livery. The base colour of the car is actually white, as you can see in the engine bay there. And obviously a little bit down at the front and sometimes in some of the arch. Oh, whoa, that was a bit jumpy and going all over the shop, wasn't it? Just in the arches down there, there's a little bit as well. But it's not too bad. My mouse suddenly sped up. No, it seems to be all right. Just was very sort of jumpy and flowy down there. Don't know what was going on. But anyway, let's carry on. On the seats, we've got black and white looking fantastic with the steering wheel fully blacked out on there. Just blending it in. Let's go around to the other side. Let's get in and see what that looks like. Pretty good in there. Obviously very grey on the sort of inside of this car, with the additional colours on that interior looking fantastic. But let's get some of these bonus parts on then. Let's get going. We've obviously got the big old hood scoop at the front. On you go in that green. And then we've got the hood lockers at the front here, also in the green, all by Jackyl. Absolutely fantastic. Then we've got the bonus part e-brakes, which are by 8-Bit Jake and Jackyl. Bonus part exhaust side pipes by Jackyl, looking great on there. Then we've got the beautiful spoiler by Jackyl in that metallic green, looking good. And then the Jackyl wheelie bar just in a metallic black on there, finishing it off. Let's get around the other side and get these in. E-brakes, in you go. And then the side pipe on there. We do have 2 more bits, but they're inside the engine bay. So we'll wait a little bit later to do them. But that's the outside of the car. Looking absolutely fantastic, if I do say so. Very, very pleased with this one. Looking awesome. Mostly black and white. Just some green accents, really, just to finish this one off. It is looking great. What do you guys think? Do let me know in the comments down below. But let's get this back on the lifter. Let's get everything else painted and start getting it all back together. We've got everything painted, ready to go back on the Fauxmaro. So let's get started. But before we jump in, there's one more piece I need to just add in. The additional body part. I think it's the top one. The strut bar. There we go on there. Looking at the wrong button. On there, looking fantastic. Pretty sweet. Let's just get that closed. Get it up in the air because we've got to start getting some of this suspension all together. We got the metallic black shocks with the metallic green springs and the black caps on the top. Looking pretty good on there. Let's start getting it in. We've got some other colours to go in here. We're going to nip around the front to start. We've got the 2 medium intercoolers, both in that metallic green, along with a large intercooler there. Looking pretty good, if I do say so. Underneath, the front suspension cross member is in the metallic black with the knuckle in the black. Then we've got the steering rack in a lovely green and the sway bar in a white, just for some separation of colours. Rubber bushing in you go. Rubber bushing in you go. Then we've got the inner tie rod in a black with the outer tie rod in a little white on there. Lower suspension arm is in the white, looking pretty good. Just splashing some of these colours in here. It's looking pretty nice. On with that shock, we've already seen that one. We'll jump up and have a look in the engine bay in a minute because it goes black, green on the white background. I think it looks awesome. Sway bar end link is in the metallic green, looking nice. The knuckle cover in the white with the wheel hub at the front in a black on there. Let's get the bearing in, the brake disc on. Then we've got the hubcap, which is in a white brake pad on you go. And then the last piece is a chrome green brake caliper on there. Looking pretty fantastic. It's a lot brighter. Took the brightness up to 100% on this. These are around 73 to 75 somewhere. So it's a lot brighter, but it fits in really well. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. But we need to get down the back. Can I get down there anywhere? Or am I too far away? There we go. Get down the back. Rear suspension cross member. We've got an alternate. Is in a white down here. And the knuckles also in a white. With the sway bar opposite in a black as well. Looking pretty good on there. We've got rubber bushings. Small one down here. 2 big ones up here. One on that side. One on that side. If I can get in there. There we go. Then we've got the rear suspension arm in a black for the bottom piece there. Looking good. And also the bottom piece down here is in a black as well. Very nice. On you go. And on you go. Then we got the spring cap in a white, which is a little bit opposite to the front. But the spring is still in that metallic green. And the cap for it is still in the metallic black. The sway bar at the back here in a green as well. And then we've got the upper suspension arm in the metallic green. Looking quite nice, just for a splash more of that. Along with this side arm as well in the metallic green. And the shock itself is just in a cheeky little black. Looking quite nice. One more bushing in there. Get you bolted up. Then we've got the knuckle cover, which is in a black opposite to the front. With the wheel hub also in a black because it doesn't go white, which is a shame. If we could ever get them white, I'd be very happy. Then we got the hub bearing in there. Brake disc on you go. Drive axle, which is in a black going through the middle there. Nicely done. Brake pad. And then obviously that Force chrome brake caliper on there. Looking nice in the green. Sort of a little bit more green down the back here. I mean, technically not because there's a lot of green up the front, but in the sides there is. Fuel tank we've just kept in a black with the fuel pump in a cheeky little white just to finish it off. We could put this drive shaft in now. I'm not going to just because it doesn't feel right. But I'm going to get the rest of the suspension all done. And we'll move on to that lovely engine bay before we go and build that Ford small block V8. Absolutely loving that. I'll crack on. I'll see you in a minute. Well, what do you think of that suspension? I think it looks fantastic in mostly black and white with a few splashes of green on there just to really finish it off. It looks beautiful in there. Very, very pleased with that. But we need to move on and get this engine bay all sorted. All sorted. Let's start with the wishy-washy reservoir, then the power steering reservoir and the coolant reservoir. do have a battery. Let's grab that in. There we go. The ABS pump is in a metallic green with the module in a metallic black just on the top of it there. There we go. Fuse box is already in. That is just in a metallic black on there. Looking quite tasty. The air filter is also in a metallic black. Let's get this all in. In you go, with some lovely metallic green clips just on the outside of there. Flip around to the other side, get the other two in you go, and in you go. And then the last piece for the engine bay is the radiator, which is, yes, in a metallic green. Then we got the fan housing kit with two forced chrome green fans on there, looking absolutely fantastic. Loving that. It is very green. If we just step away so you can fully see it, you see that some strut bar in there connected to the shocks. I say connected. I did inverted commas with my fingers. You couldn't see them, but never mind. And that's looking quite tasty in there. Very, very pleased with that. Not a lot to go in this engine now. Just in this build now. Just that big old engine. So let's go and get that absolute beast built. We've already got it started, as you can see on the stand there. We got black block, white pan, and two metallic black engine heads. I have finished this one all off, ready to go, just so you can see what it looks like with everything in while we'll quickly talk about it. There are obviously 8 spark plugs in total, 4 on either side. And then we've got valve push rods. There are 8 of these in each head, so 16 in total, with obviously some rocker arms on the top as well. Same amount of them as 16, 8 on each head. So I'll crack on, get all of that in, then we'll move on to the front of this beautiful small block engine. There we go. Everything on the inside of the heads all filled in and ready. Let's get down the front, starting with the cam gear and a timing chain on there. Then we've got the timing cover, which is also in a black on there. Forgot where the bolt was going to be. In you go, in you go, in you go, and in you go. Then we've got a water pump, which is in a cheeky little white, just for an extra splash of that. Looking very nice on there. Then we also have the little arm down here in the white that holds the alternator, which is in a black, with some red splashes on there, looking quite tasty. Over this side, we got the power steering pump, also in a black, looking good. Then we've got crankshaft pulley on you go in the black, with the water pump pulley also in the black on there. Can we do a belt? We can indeed. Blacked out belts as per normal, and the one on the other side. Then we've got the ignition distributor. I've kept the main shaft of that in a white. The rotor not painted, in you go. And then the cap, I think I've still got an old cap. I have indeed. We've just done in a black on the top, with some lovely green clips on there in the metallic green. On you go, and on you go. Then we've got the ignition coil, which is in a green, but it only paints the front wording, and it looks absolutely fantastic. Loving that. We have done the fuel filter in a metallic green as well. It's a bit dark on there, but it still looks nice. Oil filter is in green, but again, it's just really the text. It's a bit of a green hue all the way around it, but mostly the text and the rim in a green on there. Looking quite good. Pleased with that. The engine heads, head covers, should I say, they are in a white. Looking absolutely fantastic. Just splashing mostly in this black and white. Let's get you on. Let's nip round to the other side and get you on as well. In you go. All bolted up and ready to go. Then we've got the intake manifold in a beautiful white as well on there. On you go. Then these carburetors, we've done these in a metallic black, and they look fantastic coming off of that white. On you go. 2 more to go of them. No, I don't want the trumpets yet. Just the carburetors for the moment, please. There we go, and there we go. And then to finish that off, the air trumpets and top are all in that beautiful metallic green. Just really finishing it off. Not too much green on the engine. It is mostly a black and white, but just a few splashes, and I think it really looks fantastic. Let's get the rest of this done. Get them cables in as well. We'll talk about them in a second. In you go. In you go. And one more air trumpet. There we go. Absolutely beautiful. I love the look of this engine. It is fantastic. Ignition wires. They are in the metallic green as well. Looking absolutely stunning. And then we've got the exhaust manifolds, which are also in the metallic green. But you kind of already knew that because the side pipes were already in that colour. So there we go. That is this beautiful, beautiful engine all finished off, mostly in black and white, with a few splashes of that metallic green on there just to finish it off. It looks fantastic. I'm going to grab some pictures, and then we'll get it dropped in the beautiful, wild, crazy Fauxmaro. Looking beautiful on the stand. Hopefully it's going to look as good, if not better, when we drop it in our beautiful Fauxmaro. Let's get it out. Let's get it dropped in and see how good this looks. Put that engine crane away. Oh, that's looking fantastic. fantastic in there. I'm incredibly impressed with that. Pat on the back for myself. Absolutely well done. We do have one more piece to go in here. Yeah, let's just get it in now. Here we go. Bonus parts. In we go onto there, and we've just got a neon a green tube in there just to really accentuate the colours a little bit. There we go. That is looking fantastic. Incredibly pleased with that. Neon maybe not enough sort of thing. It doesn't seem to reflect off of anything, but it just gives it an added little touch nonetheless. Looking beautiful. Let's get it up in the air, though. We've still got a couple of pieces to go in. The exhaust to fit, gearbox, and that wonderful drive shaft. So let's get underneath. Let's go. Gearbox we'll start with in a lovely little black on there. Didn't want to go too over the top. Did think about doing it in the metallic green, but decided against it. Starters just in a cheeky little white, just to really separate it. And then we already know these exhausts are going to be in that metallic green. Looking absolutely fantastic off there, and then wrapping into them side pipes on the outside. Drive shaft, in you go. You are just in a cheeky little black. On we go there. And let's get you all bolted up. And that's it for the moment. We just step away. There's a little bit of clipping, but we can live with that. And then the exhaust comes out into them wonderful side pipes down the side, which are attached with these little e-brake attachments there. Looking fantastic. I am incredibly pleased with this one. I wasn't sure about the wheelie bar, but I'm definitely keeping it because this is a wild, crazy build. So there we go. I'm going to get some beautiful wheels done for this lovely Camaro. Fauxmaro, should I say. Get the liquids topped up, get the windows tinted, and get this beautiful car outside in the sun. Well, here we are then, all finished with our Bolt Mosquito MK6 Virtual Mechanic Edition, or the Fauxmaro, as we have been calling it. Pretty ironic, I like that. Looking sweet, though, mostly in black and white with a tiny splash, a splash of that lovely metallic green on the accents. That engine looks absolutely fantastic in there, even with that little neon glowing as well, just giving it that extra splash of green. Very pleased with it, but let's talk about these beautiful rims. These are the Rim Retro 7B. We do have two different sizes. The fronts here are a 20-inch with a 225 width and a 30 profile on there. In the two-tone, black and white, with the chrome green brake caliper sticking through there, looking nice. Down at the back, it's a smaller rim. They're a 19-inch rim, but it is a 375 width on the tyre, plus a 35 profile, and the rears here have got ET of 35 to bring them out into the arches. Looking pretty sweet in there. As I said, very pleased with this one. If we open it up, check out the interior. We added some white to the seats, taking out most of the grey, just a little bit of it still on there. And we blacked out the entirety of the steering wheel. Absolutely stunning. Love this car. The interior is not bad in here. It looks pretty awesome. But let's get it started and see what this small block V8 sounds like in our Bolt Mosquito. Absolutely love that tick over. That idle is beautiful. I wish I had a car that sounded like that when it idles. It is fantastic, but let's give it some gas. As you can see, we played with the RPM a little bit, just giving it a bit more ticker, a bit more revs than it would normally have. Sounding pretty mean up at that top end, though. But let's get this beast into the dyno. Let's see what its horsepower is and what its drag rating will be. Here we are then, on the dyno with the Bolt Mosquito MK6 VM Edition, or the Fauxmaro as I've been calling it. V8 Ford small block engine in there, 680 factory horsepower. How much have we added today? And what is its drag rating? Let's find out. A gain of 638 horsepower, 94%, almost a whole new engine on there, but not quite. Taking us up to 1,318 horsepower from this beautiful Fauxmaro. Loving that. With a drag rating of almost top at 949. Obviously in the A-Class. Pretty exciting. Loving the look of this. It's absolutely insane. Such a beautiful build. But let's have a look at the gearbox tuning setup. That's what we've gone for. A 2.2 ratio, 136 kilometers an hour in first gear. We've added an extra gear up to 412 reported down on there. No ECU, but we do have 4 carburetors that are all fully tuned and ready to go. So let's head over to the drag strip and see what we can do with the Bolt Mosquito MK6 or the Fauxmaro. On the drag strip with the Fauxmaro, let's get in King of the Sands, 1 mile and A-Class. Pay the 1,000 entry fee. And who have we got in here today? Hot Wheels Bone Shaker, the VM Thor Edition Hammerdown Stral, another Bone Shaker, wide body DeLorean. Our first race is against Payne in the Ford F100 drag. That's insane. And hopefully we can win. I'm not sure. We got a few more Hammerdale Strowl Thors. 2 more Virtual Mechanic Editions. 1 driven by King Slowpoke in there. Nice to see you in one of my builds. Loving that. Another wide body DeLorean. Another VM4 there. Unicorn version 1. Killer or Pi Newton is in a version 1 Unicorn as well against another wide body DeLorean with an RTR Fastback and another Unicorn Street Edition up the top there. So let's get into it. Let's try and win our first race against Payne in the Ford F100 Drag in our Bolt Mosquito MK6. The Ford F100 Drag Edition looking sick in that black. Absolutely loving that black on black. Driven by Payne. Is he going to be able to beat us in our black, white and green Fauxmaro? Let's get in. Let's find out. Loving the tick over of that small block engine, but let's go. Off the line. Into second, a little bit of squiggly wheels time there. Into third, where are we? Looks like we're way in front. Happy with that for the moment, but it could all change. Into fourth gear, we do have 1 more gear to go. A little bit straightening up there. Doesn't look like Payne's caught us yet. Into top gear, let's get this beast across the line and see what the first run times and speeds are. Across the line, what have we got? 9.145 seconds. Well, it's under 10 seconds. Not quite under the 9 mark. I was aiming for that, but haven't quite made it. Very, very close, though. Not too bad. 9.145 to the quarter of a mile. 22.108 to the 1 mile. Not quite as good as some of the previous builds. Obviously, we were in speed week, but still 22 seconds to the 1 mile is very impressive. With a top speed of 385 kilometers an hour, and that truck nearly pulled it back right at the end there. 0.5 of a second off of us. Definitely had a much higher top speed as well. So that was close, but we've managed to win our first race. Let's get into the next one. See who we're up against. Well, Payne and Pi are both out, which is a bit of a shame. Obviously, we beat Payne, so we're not really classing that as a shame because we needed it to get to the final. But our next race is against King Slowpoke in my version of the Hammerdale Strowl S. Pretty awesome. We've got a few other things going on, but let's just get into it and see if we can beat our own creation, driven by King Slowpoke. Did you see the Hammerdale Strowl like kick up as it was loading in there? Never seen that before. Very bizarre. Don't know what it hit, but there we go. Absolutely stunning, that Hammerdale Strowl S. VM Thor edition is pretty insane, driven by King Slowpoke. Will it be able to beat us? Seems like it's a very black theme going on today. We're just adding in lots of green because we've decided green is the fastest colour. So let's get in. Let's go. Off the line. Into second. I changed way too early. I don't believe it. We might lose this because of that. Into third. That Hammerdale Strowl is pulling away from us. It is the Virtual Mechanic Thor edition. Can we catch it and get back in front of it after my bad gear change? I don't think we're going to be able to. Come on, I just want to get through. I want to make it into the next round. That looks like we're in front. Thank God for that. And across the finish line. That was close. That was my own bad gear change that almost cost us this tournament then. So I do apologise. 9.662 to the quarter of a mile. Technically awful considering our first run. 22.679 to the 1 mile. Still pretty good, but we definitely can do a lot better. That was close. We lost it to the quarter of a mile. I'm blaming my bad gear change. We did just about have it in the 1 mile there, but it was very, very close. It shouldn't have been as close as it was. Thank you, King Slowpoke, for making it interesting. More thank me for a bad gear change. But we've made it through, so let's get into the next one and see who we've got. Well, left up to face, we got the Ford Mustang RTR Unicorn Street against the Hammerdale Strowl S Thor, not the Virtual Mechanic Edition. Then we got our Bolt Mosquito MK6 or the Fauxmaro versus the wide body DeLorean DMC12. Let's get in and try and beat that wide body DeLorean. The beautiful wide body DeLorean, it looks stunning. It definitely could have been black. I prefer that one in the carbon black. It looks insane in that colour. Against our Fauxmaro in black, white and green. Definitely looks a lot better than that DeLorean. But will it be quicker? Let's find out. Let's go. Off the line. Let's try and get the gear change a little bit better this time. There's the 1 into second, into third. Where is it? Looks like we're way ahead of the DeLorean as it stands at the moment. Into fourth gear. Hopefully it's going to stay that way and we can get on and make it into the final, winning all of the races. Maybe. No, that DeLorean has just flown past us as we go into top gear and get across the finish line. Bit of a shame we've been knocked out, but we did make it to the semi-final, so not too bad at all. Plus that DeLorean is insane. Look at the top speed on that, 445 kilometers an hour. We did miss a gear change at the end as the DeLorean overtook me. Did distract me, but I don't think we're going to beat it anyway. 9.221 seconds to the quarter of a mile. 22.322 to the 1 mile with a top speed of 377 kilometers an hour. But what would be going down on the speederboard was our first run, which was a 9.145 to the quarter of a mile. 22.108 seconds to the 1 mile with a top speed of 385 kilometers an hour. Sadly, we're out. But let's get back and see if this wide-body DeLorean is going to take the tournament, or if it's going to be someone else. Well, we've got knocked out, but we are going to take 2,250 credits. Obviously, minus our entry fee leaves us a profit of 1,250 credits, which isn't too bad. But in the final, you've got the normal edition of the Hamad Austral S Thor edition. That's my bad. Against the wide-body DeLorean. Who's going to take it? Let's find out. It is the Hamad Austral S Thor edition, the standard edition version of that one. Did it have to race any of my creations on the way? I don't think it did. I'm not 100% sure, though. Oh, it looks like it did just here behind that one. Did it race it? No, that's the normal one. Okay, so no, it didn't have to race one of my creations at all. So there we go. Let's get back. Let's collect our winnings, which we're doing right now. Get back to the garage. Get ready to sell. We're not selling this Bolt Mosquito. We're not selling it. We're not getting ready to sell it at all. We're going to see if we can sell it on for a little bit of profit if we did. But we definitely are keeping this one because it looks insane and I love it. Let's get it on the speederboard. Let's get back. Well, here we are then, all finished with the beautiful Fauxmaro, looking absolutely stunning in its black, white, and green. Top speed for the speederboard then was a 9.145 seconds to the quarter of a mile, 22.108 seconds to the 1 mile, with a top speed of 385 kilometers an hour, pitting this absolute beast. 34 out of 65 on the speederboard, which isn't too bad at all. I'm quite impressed. I do love this interior in here as well. No green on the interior. It's not something I do very often, but absolutely love that. It looks insane. Beautiful, beautiful car. Let's talk some facts and figures. I bought the car for $55,770 at the beginning of the episode and could have sold it and made profit of $16,602, but we obviously didn't do that. We since spent another $58,329 upgrading, tuning, and modifying this beautiful Fauxmaro to how you see it here today. Looking absolutely stunning, putting our total spend at $114,099. Can we make some profit, or would we be able to make some profit from this beautiful Camaro if we were to sell it? Well, let's take a look. All 100% complete. Absolutely fantastic. Obviously, the bonus parts don't count towards the percentages, so if you miss them, you wouldn't know anyway. That engine ramped up to 1,318 horsepower, a gain of 94% from the factory. Pretty good with all the performance parts on there. But our spend was 114,099. Would we make profit if we sold it? 168,446 is the sale price. Leaves us 54,347 in profit. Plus our drag strip winnings of 1,250 leaves us with profit of 55,597. But we are not selling this beast, not at all. One of my favorite looking builds of all time. It's absolutely insane. I love this. This is going to take the place of the Mitsubishi Eclipse, which was my previous competition entry. So they're going to swap places. That's going to go into the parking and be hidden away. Looking absolutely insane. Love this build. What do you guys think? Do let me know in the comments below. But the big question is, what have we got up next? I'm doing a throwback. This car is the Audi RS6 Avant, I believe, and it was the first build we ever did on this channel. So we're doing a throwback to a different version of it. This one looks absolutely insane. Let's have a look. This is, if I can, there we go. This is the Audi RS6 Avant DTM edition in awful condition. Yeah, the frame and the parts aren't too bad, but everything else is a bit sorry for itself. We're missing lots of the body panels. We got it from the bad auction house, and it's in pretty bad condition. We've left it as standard with the V8 double overhead cam AXK engine in there with 973 factory horsepower. And then we're going to tune it up and make it even more insane than that. So it should be pretty good on the drag strip. Did I get a good deal for this one? I did, but only just. But I will take it. 44,743 is what we paid, and we could sell it for 46,302, making a nice little profit of 1,559. Very, very impressed with that. This is going to be for next time, though. I do hope you did enjoy today's video. If you did, definitely consider hitting that subscribe button. our beautiful custom build Bolt Mosquito Mark 6 looking insane down there. We're definitely not selling. We will be swapping places. Let me know what you think we should do with the Avant RS6 down there, looking beautiful as always. Again, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day, whatever you get up to. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.